Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? I'm Immortal MMA. And today, I was gonna get to the gooch. I was gonna get to the big gooch in my next video on my channel, but I had to take a second and go over these rankings, these new AI rankings for the UFC, which are not good. They're not good, okay? I'm just gonna straight out say there's some good things, there's a few good things, like it's not completely trash, but at the same time it's also trash. It's also trash. This is horrible. I haven't reacted to every single fighter, like every single ranking, so it's kind of gonna be me just like going through along with y'all at the same time. There's some things that we need to fix about this. The AI that they use for this, don't know what it was watching for some of these rankings, but yeah, I gotta go over this, and then next video y'all got the gooch, my reaction to the big gooch losing. Really sad days, but here we go. First, the flyweight. So the flyweight is one of the only two that I saw when I was looking through, and then that's when I decided, okay, I have to make a video about this because there are so many things wrong with the rankings. So obviously Alexandre Pantoja, number one. Then you got Manel Kape. Okay, that's fine. Tatsuro Taira is above Brandon Royval. Why? Why? Brandon Royval beat Tatsuro Taira, and then they have Tatsuro Taira in front of Brandon Royval. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I understand, like, oh, Brandon Royval lost to Manel Kape after, and then Tatsuro Taira won against Brandon Moreno, who was number 9 down here, but oh, he's just above Brandon Royval because he has a win against Brandon Moreno, a guy that Brandon Royval has also already beaten. What are we doing? This makes no sense. This makes no sense. So that's the first thing in the rankings. Then you have Loner Kavanagh up here at number 5. That's not like bad or anything. Horiguchi's at 6. I'm fine with that. Also Amabayev. Also, that's fine. Amir Albazi, I still don't understand how he's this high because Amir Albazi lost to Brandon Moreno, first of all, so I don't know why Brandon Moreno is below him, but he lost to Brandon Moreno, and he lost to Kyoji Horiguchi. Why is he number 8 in the rankings if he lost to Brandon Moreno? This makes no sense. His last win, I believe, was Kai Kara France, who is not even in the rankings anymore, who is not even competing in the UFC anymore currently. He's taken a break from the sport. That was this guy's last win, I believe. Since then, he's just been losing. What are we doing? Why is he number 8? And then Kevin Borjas, what? This guy is 2-4 in the UFC. 2-4 in the UFC. He has a negative record. Why is he number 10? Why is he number 10? He got a win. He got a win in his last fight over an unranked fighter. Sure, the fighter was 11-0. Sure, he was undefeated. He was still unranked. How does getting a win over an unranked fighter put you in the top 10 after you literally are 1-4 in the UFC before that fight? This makes absolutely no sense. Why is Kevin Borjas this high? He lost to Sumadarji. Why is Sumadarji below him if he lost to that exact same person earlier in the UFC? That makes absolutely no sense. Mitch Raposo. Why is Mitch Raposo up here? This guy is 2-2 in the UFC. He's literally tied. How does a win, again, it was against an unranked fighter. How does that put him in number 11 over Steve Erceg and Alex Perez and Charles? Why is Charles Johnson at 15? Charles Johnson has a win over the current champion. He has a win over Loner Kavanagh, and he just beat Silva, who was just ranked before they implemented these new rankings. Why is he number 15 and Mitch Raposo, a guy that's 2-2 in the UFC, is above him? Kevin Borjas, a guy that's 2-4 in the UFC, above him. Why? That makes absolutely no sense. This guy, literally, Loner Kavanagh, like, you can say that the Joshua Vaughn fight, like, yes, he defeated Vaughn, like, a long time ago, right? That was like, years ago. Loner Kavanagh, he defeated him literally 2 fights ago. So why is he number 15? This makes absolutely no sense. They said that the AI was going to take into consideration who you beat, how you beat them, all this stuff. Charles Johnson knocked out Loner Kavanagh, who is number 5, but he is number 15. I'm not saying put him above Loner Kavanagh, because Loner Kavanagh, of course, went on to beat Brandon Moreno, and Loner Kavanagh was winning that fight against Charles Johnson. But at least put him in the top 10. Or like somewhere around there instead of Kevin Borjas and Mitch Raposo. Absolutely no sense whatsoever. This makes absolutely no sense. But moving on from the flyweight, that's probably, I think flyweight might be the worst division unless one of these other ones like surprise me, because these rankings are absolutely abysmal. But moving on. Okay, so Petr Yan, Merab. Umar above O'Malley. I don't really like Umar above O'Malley because O'Malley, he just defeated someone on a 7-fight win streak. He also defeated Song Big Yadong. So, like, I don't understand why he's below Umar, Umar won against Corey Sandhagen. So, I mean, maybe you could, but that was like a while back. Other than that, he beat Mario Batista. I believe Sean O'Malley should be above him, because he does have a few like more ranked wins than Umar. But I mean, I guess I could see it. They're pretty interchangeable. Then you have Corey Sandhagen, Mario Batista, Song Yadong, David Martinez, which David Martinez, I don't think he should be this high, honestly. I think that they should have put David Martinez a little bit lower, because if you look at his record, I mean, his wins aren't horrible, but his best win is Chito Vera, who is not ranked anymore. Chito Vera is outside of the rankings, which that's a good thing. I'm glad that they put him outside of the rankings, because Chito, even though, like, sure, he used to be a ranked contender, he's on like a big losing streak, and he hasn't really defeated anyone of noticeable name recently. But David Martinez, that's his best win, and it was by 29-28 decision. So I think I would like to see him move down a little bit more. Ronnie Barcelos, I'm glad that they have him in the top, because finally, like, this guy has a win over Peyton Talbot. His only loss is to Umar, and a long time ago he lost to that like wrestler guy. I'll put a picture of him on the screen. I forgot his name. I can't even think about that right now. Those are the only 2 losses he has. Outside of that, he's had some really good performances, including his win against Peyton Talbot. We'll get to Peyton Talbot in a bit. Marcus McGee at 9. I mean, that's not bad. His only losses to Jan, and obviously, Jan is the champion. So I don't think that's like too bad. Farid Basharat, also not too bad. Maybe move him down a little bit. I don't really think that's too bad. Figueiredo at 11. I don't know. Okay, I don't know why they have Figueiredo at 11 above Ayman Zahabi. Zahabi was on a 7-fight win streak. Davison Figueiredo is now on like a 3-fight losing streak or something like that. And I know it's like to the best guys in the division. He has a win over Cody Garbrandt, who has been unranked for some time now. He has a win over Montel Jackson and a win over Chito Vera. Those are his wins. And Ayman Zahabi also has a win over Chito Vera. He has a 7-fight win streak. I know he just got knocked out by O'Malley. I know he just lost. But Davison Figueiredo, he also just lost by submission against Song Yadong. So I don't know why he's this high. Charles Jourdain, I'm not going to argue with that. Charles Jourdain has been doing pretty well. Bryce Mitchell also, he's undefeated inside of the bantamweight division so far in his run. Montel Jackson, 15. I'm not really going to like squabble with that. Other than the fact that Peyton Talbot is not in the rankings anymore. Why did we remove Peyton Talbot? He has 1 loss inside of the division to Ronnie Barcelos. Why did we completely remove him? I understand, like, he doesn't have the craziest wins, but, like, okay, he won against Henry Cejudo, who was putting up a tough fight against Song Yadong, who also, he dropped Merab in their fight. He had a competitive fight with Aljamain Sterling back when Aljamain Sterling was still in the division. So I don't understand why they just removed Peyton Talbot after having his just 1 loss. Honestly, I put him over Montel Jackson, but moving onward, Alexander Volkanovski, obviously, number 1. Movzar, I agree with. Diego Lopez, obviously, I agree with that. Lerone Murphy, of course. Aljamain Sterling, I agree with. Arnold Allen. Why is Arnold Allen above, like, I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm seeing a pattern where Arnold Allen, he loses to Gene Silva. He has a loss to Gene Silva, and it's literally 2 fights ago. But then he won against Melquizael Costa, so now he's ranked 5 instead of 6 where Gene Silva is. But Gene Silva has a win over him. Same thing with, like, Tyra. Tyra lost to Brandon Royval, but then won against Brandon Moreno, so now they have Tyra over Brandon Royval, even though he lost to Brandon Royval. That makes absolutely no sense. Same thing with here. Gene Silva, his 1 loss in the division is to Diego Lopez, who is ranked number 2. He won against Arnold Allen, but they have Arnold Allen above Gene Silva. This absolutely makes no sense. Why is Pat Sabatini number 7? Why is Pat Sabatini number 7? Pat Sabatini, look. He's on a good run, okay? He's on a good run. He's like a 4-fight win streak or something like that. He does have 2 losses in the division, though, and I don't understand why he's ranked number 7. Yusuf Zalal, he's on a good run as well. He just lost to Aljamain Sterling. Pat Sabatini just smudge grappled William Gomez. And that's the other thing, like, the competition. Yusuf Zalal has gone against harder competition than Pat Sabatini. Pat Sabatini just went against William Gomez, and he's ranked number 7 off of that win? Are you serious? William Gomez? A guy that's unranked? That's not even, like William Gomez is, it's not like he's bad, but he was never ranked. So why is this guy number 7 off of 4 unranked wins? And like some of them being smudge grappling decisions where he didn't really perform like some crazy feat. Nathaniel Wood, glad that they have Nathaniel Wood, my boy. I'm glad that they have him in here because, you know, he's been underrated for some time, and he has good wins. He has a lot of good wins. He has some losses in the UFC, but he's had a long career of, like, you know, win some, lose some, but the ones that he loses are like to mostly the top guys in the division. So glad to see him up here. Do I think he should be this high? I'm not exactly sure. Like, Kevin Vallejos should be above him. Kevin Vallejos, his only losses to Gene Silva before the UFC even. I believe that loss was on Dan White's Contender Series. So I don't understand why Kevin Vallejos is underneath Nathaniel Wood. Maybe put him up 1 and put Nathaniel Wood at number 10. Melchizedek Costa, of course, he just lost. He was on a good streak. Again, I don't know how Pat Sabatini is above someone like Melchizedek Costa. Steve Garcia. Why is Steve Garcia down here? Steve Garcia was on like a 7-fight win streak with like 6 knockouts. Why is Steve Garcia... And one of those knockouts was against Melchizedek Costa. Why is Steve Garcia this low? This makes absolutely no sense. Why is he below Pat Sabatini? Why is he below Yusuf Zalal? He just lost to Diego Lopez, number 2. He was on a 7-fight winning streak. Most of them being knockouts. One of them being a knockout against someone above him. This, again, it's a thing that just doesn't make sense. They should have him in the top 10. They should have him in the top 10 easily. Number 8 easily. Number 7 easily. You know, Aaron Pico at number 13, I don't dislike that. But at the same time, okay, here's the thing. Yair Rodriguez. That is the main takeaway from this video is like, Yair Rodriguez is out of he's out of the rankings now. Let's go. But at the same time, I don't think he should have been out of the rankings. Like, okay, I mean, like, he shouldn't have been ranked number 5 because he was ranked number 5 for having, like, literally done 0. Like, literally nothing in the division, like, in the past, like, few years other than beat Pitbull. But, like, why is he not in the rankings at all? Why is Aaron Pico above him when he has the exact same win against the same opponent as Aaron Pico? Aaron Pico was 1-1 in the UFC. He got knocked out by Lerone Murphy, and then he got a 29-28 win against Pitbull. And, you know, it was a really good performance against Pitbull. Yair has the same exact win against Pitbull, but a better performance because he didn't lose any rounds. He literally had a better performance than Aaron Pico against Pitbull, the same guy, but Aaron Pico is above him, and he's not even in the rankings. So, like, although I do like that he's not ranked number 5 anymore, why is he just not in the rankings in general when he literally has the same exact win as Aaron Pico? Jonathan Brito, I don't dislike him being up here. And then Jose Delgado, I don't dislike him being up here too. Like, these are really good guys. They haven't really lost too much. But again, it's like a lot of these rankings are just weird. It just does not make sense at all. Moving onward, the lightweight division. Let me see. So, Justin Gaethje, obviously. Ilia Topuria, Arman Tsarukyan, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, Benoit Saint-Denis. Mateus Gamrot. Okay, I actually kind of like this. Renato Moicano, Killen Salkel, okay. Paddy Pimblett, Mauricio Rufy, Nolan Torres, Rafa Garcia, okay. Rafa Garcia? Okay, this is a little bit weird. Renato Moicano, I don't think he should be this high. I mean, he had a good performance in his last fight, but before that, he lost to Beneil Dariush, who is not even ranked anymore. And he's number 7 off of that win against an unranked fighter. I don't agree with that at all. I think Renato Moicano should be around like 10-ish. Quillen Salkild, I love Quillen Salkild. I'm the biggest glazer of Quillen Salkild. I like, y'all will see. If y'all have seen my other videos, I glaze Quillen Salkild to no end. Quillen Salkild is not number 8. He's not number 8, okay? He has a win against Beneil Dariush. He has a good streak. He has a lot of finishes so far. He's undefeated in the division so far, but he's not above Mauricio Rufy. He's not above Paddy Pimblett. I think he's like right below these guys. I would put Quillen Salkild at maybe number 12. You know, move Tom Nolan down. Rafa Garcia, I don't know what he's doing here. I mean, he's good. Grant Dawson obviously TKO'd him, and you know, Manel Torres also you know, he KO'd, slimed out Grant Dawson. So like these rankings aren't like too bad. I think like maybe Rafa Garcia, maybe switch him out for. Ooh, but I don't know. Beneil's been getting slimed out a lot recently. But I don't know. I don't know who you could substitute for Rafa Garcia. Maybe you should just keep him there. But the rankings are a little bit weird here. Rufy should be up. He should be up above Paddy Pimblett. He had a better performance against Chandler than Paddy Pimblett did. He had a better performance against Bobby Green than Paddy Pimblett did. And, you know, I know that's like, Paddy Pimblett had a great performance against Bobby Green. He, you know, completely destroyed him. Rufy destroyed him better. He spinning wheel kicked his head off, okay? Rufi's only loss is to Benoit Saint-Denis. And I know Paddy Pimblett, sure, he survived against Justin Gaethje. Come on now. He lost 4 rounds to 1. He lost 4 rounds to 1. And I know there's like one judge that gave it like a three rounds to 2. He didn't win 2 rounds. He lost 4 rounds, and he only won 1 single round. You cannot convince me that this guy won more than 1 round in that fight. No, he did not. He did not. Paddy Pimblett should not be this high. I think Mauricio Rufi should be above him. Quillen Salkild should be below. Renato Moicano should be below. But for the most part, this actually, like, lightweight so far, I believe is the best one out of the ones I've seen so far. Moving onward to the welterweight. So, Islam Carlos Prates over Ian Gary? I gotta think about that. I don't think so. I don't think, like, here's the thing. I think Ian Gary should be number 1. I mean, 1, he has a win over Carlos Prates. I know it's been a few years, but Ian Gary, his only loss is to Shavkat Rakhmonov. That's his only loss. Other than that, Ian Gary has defeated every single opponent that he's had, including Carlos Prates. So I think they should have Ian Gary at number 1, but this is not like a big deal. It's not a big deal. They're pretty interchangeable. Michael Morales at number 3. Again, that's not bad. Like, Michael Morales is undefeated. Jack Della Maddalena at number 4. Sean Brady at number 5. I'd probably switch Sean Brady and Jack Della Maddalena just because, you know, Jack's now on a 2-fight losing streak. But, again, it's pretty interchangeable. It's not really, like, a big deal. Gabriel Bonfim, of course, you know, that makes sense. Bilal Muhammad, okay. Leon Edwards, Joaquin Buckley, then Kamaru Usman. What? Okay, wait. Kamaru Usman below. Oh, why are they doing this? Why are they? I don't understand. What is the AI thinking? Kamaru Usman below Joaquin Buckley. Kamaru Usman 49-46 Joaquin Buckley in their last fight. And then after that fight, Joaquin Buckley went on to get completely destroyed by Sean Brady. Why is Joaquin Buckley over Kamaru Usman? Kamaru Usman's last fight was against Joaquin Buckley, and he beat him super convincingly. And then Joaquin Buckley went on to lose again. And Leon Edwards, I mean, okay, I could see why Leon Edwards is above Kamaru because he has 2 wins over him. But at the same time, it's like Leon Edwards, he's on like a 3-fight losing streak. He got like knocked out, he got submitted, he got decisioned. He's had it all done. I don't know. Maybe, you know, it's not a bad ranking. It's not a bad ranking for him to be up here. But Kamaru Usman below Joaquin Buckley makes no sense. He literally just defeated him. Mike Malott, that's an okay ranking, I guess. Why is Daniel Rodriguez why is he this high? Why is he this high? He beat Kevin Holland. Michael Venom Page beat Kevin Holland. And they're only 1 apart, but Michael Venom Page, his only loss in the UFC has been to Ian Gary. What are we doing? His 1 loss is to Ian Gary. Why is he number 12? Just 1 spot. Why is he below Mike Malott? His 1 loss is to Ian Gary. What are we doing? Daniel Rodriguez should be number 15. Yaroslav Amosov should be a little higher. Uros Medic, he's fine being here. This makes no sense. Especially with the Kamaru Usman thing. This is, okay. For the most part, like, the top half of this is pretty good. The bottom half is weird. Moving onward, middleweight, Sean Strickland, Hamza Chimaev, Jigs Duplessis, Nasruddin Imavov, Brandon Allen, Joe Pyfer, Kyle Bryo, Anthony Hernandez. I would put Anthony Hernandez above Kyle Bryo because Anthony Hernandez, he was on a huge win streak and his last loss was to the champion Sean Strickland, while Kyle Bryo got pieced up by Nasruddin Imavov in his fight that he had with him. Israel Adesanya still being in the top 10 is a little, I don't know. Israel Adesanya has 4 losses in a row, something like that, and he's been finished in all of them. I don't know about that one. I think they should put Izzy down. Gregory Rodriguez should 100% be above Israel Adesanya. Bo Nickel, why is Bo Nickel at 12? Why is he at 12 and this makes no sense. Reiner de Ritter, he TKOs Bo Nickel, and Bo Nickel is somehow above him because he got a win against unranked Kyle Dawkins. I'm not saying Kyle Dawkins is trash, but Reiner de Ritter literally won against Bo Nickel. Why is he above Reiner de Ritter? He should be at number 15. Why is Ikram Aliskerov in here? Why is Robert Whittaker not in the world? Aliskerov, he's on it, he's doing good in the UFC, but his 1 loss was to Robert Whittaker. Why is Robert Whittaker not in his placement? Why? First of all, move Reiner de Ritter up. Bo Nickel, number 15. Reiner de Ritter, number 12, I would say. Aliskerov, switch him out for Robert Whittaker. What are we doing? This makes no sense. Moving on. Carlos Oberg, Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev, Yuri Prohaska. Okay, I agree with that. Paulo Costa, I agree with that. Jamal Hill, and Khalil Roundtree. Why is Jamal Hill got 50-45 against Khalil Roundtree? Literally died inside of the octagon. Almost died in there. His calf. I could be Joe Rogan talking about his calf right now, because his calf got completely deleted in that fight. He got dropped like, what, 3 or 4 times? Why is Jamal, and he's on a losing streak. He lost to Khalil Roundtree. He lost to Yuri Prohaska. He lost to Alex Pereira. Why is he above Khalil Roundtree? I don't understand. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. How is he somehow above Khalil Roundtree? Azmat Mirzakhanov, why is Azmat Mirzakhanov so low? He should be above, his 1 loss is to Paulo Costa. I think he should be number 8, number 7. Look, Dominic Reyes, he literally got knocked out like 3 times in a row. And I know he got a knockout streak after that, but then he got knocked out by Carlos Ulberg. Why is he above Azmat Mirzakhanov, who has 1 loss in his entire career, to Paulo Costa, who is ranked number 4 right now? This makes no sense. They should move Azmat up. Volkan Ozdemir and Dominic Reyes should be below Azmat and Mirzakhanov. Bogdan Guskov, that's okay. Dustin Jacoby, glad that they have him in there. He's on a great win streak right now. If you know Dustin Jacoby, very good fighter. So I could see that. Navajo Sterling, number 12. I don't know if I can see that as much. I mean, he is undefeated. He is on a win streak. But maybe, like, I would put Navajo Sterling lower, though. Alonzo Menefield, number 13. Yeah, I could see that. Johnny Walker, I could see that, too. Jan is number 15. What? Jan is below Johnny Walker and Alonzo Menefield. Are we serious? He had a draw with Magomed Ankalaev. He had a draw with, what's his name? Bogdan Guskov. Why is he number 15? Those are not losses. Those are draws. Why is he number 15? Johnny Walker literally just lost his last fight, and he's like a win one, lose one fighter. Same with Alonzo Menefield. Why are these guys above him? This makes no, like, Jan could easily be number 12, number 11. I don't understand that at all. Okay, let's move on. I'm tired. Final one. Tom Aspinall, Sirgan. Okay, Alexander Volkov, Sergey, Alex. Why do they have Alex Pereira ranked? He has 1 fight in heavyweight, and it was a KO loss to Cyril Gane. You cannot rank him number 4 off of a KO loss to Cyril Gane on his first fight ever in the division. What do you mean? Even if you're gonna rank him number 15, because he just got knocked out in his only fight in the heavyweight division. Josh Hokett, Waldo Cortez Acosta, okay. Kuniev? Why is Kuniev over Curtis Blades, who we just lost to? Like, same pattern. Kuniev literally lost to Curtis Blades. His last win was Jailton Almeida, who Curtis Blades also knocked out. That's the thing. Curtis Blades knocked out Jailton Almeida. Rizvan Kuniev took him to a decision, and Curtis Blades has a win over Rizvan Kuniev. Why is Rizvan Kuniev above Curtis Blades? Oh yeah, I forgot about Brando Pericic. Brando Pericic should also be... Okay, this makes no sense. Brando Pericic and Walter Walker should both be above Vitor Petrino. That doesn't make sense at all. Mario Pinto, okay, I can see it. Mick Parkin, Ryan Spann, okay, the rest of those are fine. But the Rizvan Kuniev, that makes no sense. Alex Pereira, why is he in the rankings? And then Vitor Petrino above these two, that makes no sense. Overall, I know this is a video about me just going over the rankings and complaining, but it's like, how do we get AI to do it and it sucks, and we get the media, like the regular media rankings, to do it and it sucks? What is the UFC doing to get these rankings? What is their actual system? Because none of this makes sense. There are horrible, especially in the flyweight division. I still don't understand how Mitch Raposo and Kevin Borjas are somehow up here in the top 10, top 11. What are we doing to get these results? This was supposed to be based on, like, stats. Like, who have you beaten? How have you beaten this person? What, like, you know, what type of streak are you on? What type of winning streak? Like, what are your performances looking like? To have it be like, okay, this is what we're judging it on, but then have these be the results. Because these, like, it makes no sense to have all of these guys that have already, you know, they've already won against these other, like, lower competition than them, and somehow they're ranked higher. Like, there's some good things. There's some, like, you know, Michael Chandler being pushed out of the rankings on the, you know, lightweight. That's good. I understand, like, that's good. They should have been doing that. And then, of course, you know, with Yair Rodriguez, he shouldn't be top 5. Do I think he should be completely out of the rankings? No, but he shouldn't be top 5. And then, like, people were saying that, oh, it's AI, so it has to be completely correct. No, That's not how that works. That's not how that works. AI was created by us. It makes mistakes just like us. If you go into ChatGPT and try to get it to help you code, it can make mistakes. If you're like a coder, like what are we doing? What are we doing? It makes no sense. All of these rankings these need to be overhauled in some type of way, because a lot of these just do not match up. But I'm sure y'all are tired of listening to me yap and complain about this. If you like this video, spinning body kick that like button, jumping knee that subscribe button, and do a backflip off the cage and land on that comment section and let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what do you think about these new rankings, if you agree with some of my takes, if you don't agree with some of my takes, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.